you know? So you might see a little message on your screen, you're completely anonymous. Your images and names are protected, are anonymous to protect both the innocent and the guilty, which is all of us. Now, make sure, I'm going to mute again. Make sure that your mute stays on. That way, background noises are hidden. Got a nice crew of people showing up for class. It's great to see his nice deep breath together. We all breathe the same air, even the people we don't like so much. So we have something in common. We share the same biology, regardless of ideology. And this is the class where you do less rather than more. Eyes roll back a little bit. You're allowed to feel your body weight sink into the floor. One deep hour of meditation and relaxation counteracts thousands of hours of in the world. Let's swallow once. Gulp. Circle our jaw around. Let our facial muscles relax. Let the breathing come a little more fully, deeply, relaxedly. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to promote. The more we get in alignment with spirit, the less we have to promote, and the more that we actually attract what we like. That only takes about 60, 70 years to learn, but we do learn it. If you got pressing care or worry, set it aside for a few moments. Maybe the universe could solve it if we couldn't, and just to disengage, unhitch it from the trailer hitch of your car and just keep driving forward. Good. Let's take a really deep breath together. Exhale all the air out. Get empty. Okay, then super giant inhale. Super relaxed outhale, and the breath is slowing down a little bit. The nervous system is calming a bit. You're feeling very, very sleepy. If you fall asleep in class, my work here is done. Good. 4 or 5 more minutes on the back. No rush. No rush. Now, here's a Sunday ritual we do every Sunday, which makes it a ritual on Sunday, and that is we feel our feelings for a moment. So sometimes we're racing out in front of our impressions and feelings, and we don't feel them for a couple days or a couple of decades. So just go ahead and feel whatever your feels are right now. Breathe them, allow them, don't suppress them. They're just feelings. Good. Then we'll say the great prayer of acceptance: God, love, source, universe, infinite, higher organizing, whatever you like to be called. I accept exactly where I am, who I am, and what I have at this phase of my development. Realizing, of course, that I'm not even halfway through. Good. Then one more of them whopping big inhales, fill up the whole vessel, encompass all them feels. Exhale, let it all go, and we'll just be calm and empty souls, having pulled the plug and drained the brain. We're points of consciousness floating in infinite space for eternity. Sort of. Okay, then we can wiggle our fingers and toes and circulate a fresh batch of feel good through ourselves. This is a great secret. Only tell people that you love that you can wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate feel good. Good. Arms up to the ceiling. Lace your hands. Stretch your arms up over your head. Kitty, kitty. Good. Writhe around a little bit on your back, feeling that stretchy, euphoric, first thing in the morning, get to drink coffee kind of feeling. Excellent. Draw your knees in for some knee hugging and back rolling. If your knees are far away, you don't have to pull that hard, because this is not the try as hard as you can class. That's Saturday and Monday. This is just grab your knees and roll around on your back like a turtle that's been tipped over. Sometimes turtles tip over and all they can do is roll around on their back until they die, but at least they enjoy it. Turtles are smart though, because they'll help other turtles. They'll go tip over the turned over turtles. Has any turtle ever tipped over you and helped you? Good. Now the kids will roll up together and the inane dialogue will even get worse. Hey, what a nice turnout. Welcome if you're joining on YouTube or Twitch or Stream or Rumble or God only knows. It's great to see you kids. We're going to do some good yogas today. The main thing is here are three very interesting words. Tell me what you think of them. Easy does it. Now, the first time I ever heard that phrase, it was like, no, actually, easy's never really done it. But I think the more we realize that when we get aligned with power, that we're just tapping into something and then we're mostly aligning with it. This is the difference between having to move a bunch of rocks with a wheelbarrow across your yard and having a crane do it and just using a joystick. So different levels of power, huh? So I'm just rocking a little side to side. My eyes are closed. I'm trying to feel into my inner world a little bit because the outer world is so seductive and seductive in a good way. In many cases, there are so many fun things to do to get wrapped up in. You got your cars and your golf and your bridge and your book group and your music and it's a lot of stuff to do, and it whips us into a lot of movement. So today we're going to yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. That means we're going to begin to calm and still the movement. So now I'm coming still. Now consider this great spiritual phrase, be still and know that you're God. It's shocking, isn't it? If I'm God, then the universe is kind of screwed, right? But let's see it in its deeper meaning. Inside of us is the seed of God, and if we're quiet and get out of the way, we feel it. But there's a condition. We have to be still. No twitching, stop thinking. Relax your shoulders, relax your future, let go of your past. Today is the future that you were so worried about 5 years ago, and it turned out perfectly. This is all we're going to do for the whole class, so you can leave now if you want. Just kidding. I would never do that to you. Good. All right, now I'm a put my hands on my knees because that makes me feel somewhat more supported and my voice lowers. Let's chant Om together and stir up cosmic vibration inside of us. Chant loud enough so that you don't have to hear me or see me if you want to close your eyes. Inhale. Oh, allergy, sorry. Oh, still the same breath though. Feel that. There's a principle called liquefaction that just the right vibrational frequency turns matter to liquid, like if you live in the marina during an earthquake. So Om does that. It takes us hard, crunchy critters and turns us into flowing liquidity. Good. Now we're going to bring our hands into our heart. This is not a religious practice unless you're religious. That's fine. Drop your chin, and I wholeheartedly invite you to pray for the thing most wanted or needed right now, whether it's a lot of money or a physical healing or peace of mind. You determine the prayer. Sprinkle in some faith. Add some humility. God, may this come in the way that you see fit and not my limited faculties. Good. Press send and let it go. Bunch of angels are running around arranging your prayer for you. Might take a couple of days. It's okay. Good. Now, if I don't start doing some yoga pretty soon, you guys are going to get pissed. So drop your chin, take your head around 8 times. Sorry for the crackly teenage Boy Scout voice, but I've been pollinated for many days now. 4, 5, 6, 7. Isn't it nice to move together with your tribe in rhythmic movements? Other way. 1, 2. Relax them shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. I like this one where you drop your chin down and close your eyes for 20 seconds. You might make that ujjayi breathing, that soft little aspirin sound at the back of your throat. I'm going to speak an affirmation over us. We are calm and peaceful souls. Okay, those shoulders, those things hanging from our ears, they're actually meant to move around a little bit. Most people are pretty frozen up there. It's called frozen shoulder syndrome, but we'll move them around. There's 15 muscles attached to each shoulder blade, and so that's a lot of movement. Plus, I'm polishing my knees, 7, 8. And then they go the other way, much to people's surprise. 3. Greg, why don't you do something different every Sunday? We do. We've never done this movement before. You never step in the same river twice. You never step in the same river twice, but you can step in the same dog poop twice. We're getting more spiritual by the moment. Arms up, kids. Now we're going to do these arms out things. Go behind your back, up your back, because we're going to poof in a moment. We're a flower, poof, shooting pollen right into Greg's nose. Up your back, behind your neck, and now you're a weed, shooting pollen into Greg's eyes. And fortunately, I'm poof, immune to allergies as I practice solution rather than problem. Poof. One more. Sometimes practicing the problem is more fun than practicing the solution. Poof. Good. And then what do you think about these? These are called these things where you go side to side. Now your butt is, both of your butts are Velcroed to the floor, which kind of makes you be able to go out wider with level arms with in turtle and out turtle rotation. After a while, your arms get really tired and you get kind of crabby. I'm not responsible for your emotional state. I've done enough Al-Anon. Good. All right. Yeah. Relax your arms. That was hard. Good. Now we're going to do spinning tops. You just kind of, here's the technical description of this. You go like this, and then you go like this. Now maybe you're a stiff, crunchy, boiled owl kind of person, and you can scarcely go around. Some of you are like bendy, gymnastic, Cirque du Soleil performers. You just go buck wild. God needs all of us, the boiled owls and the circus performers. 7, 8. Good. Now I'm going this way. 1, 2, 3. The world's spinning. The spins are no fun, man. I haven't had the spins for a long time. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we've stirred the pot, haven't we? I'm going to switch the cross of my legs. They're tired now from that. So I'm going this way. One way feels normal, the other way feels unusual. You know why? Because we're creatures of habit. Did you know that? A great yogi once said, humans are essentially bundles of habits. Now, that's great if your habits are good, not so good if they're not. Inhale, kitty cats. Arms out. Now we're going to go up the back and we're going to Om. Inhale. Om, long time. Oh, parting the Red Sea. Put the sea back together. Longer you can exhale, longer you're going to live. Om. Drop your chin. Feel holy, sacred, and reverent. Not for any external thing, but for that divinity right there inside of you. Good. Now lace these hands and we're going to push up to the sky. Here's a stiff, crunchy person. Their arms get about here, and then after a couple of weeks of yoga, they get here, and a year in, they get here, and then all the way to the top of the cat tower. Then relax your shoulders while extending your arms. Now turn right, 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 left hand, right knee, right arm behind you. Get a nice little Sunday twist to your right. Relax your shoulders. Good. Now stay right here. Close your eyes. Lift your hands and use larger muscles to engage your twist. You can twist from the inside. You can twist from the outside. Now replace your hands down and gently you can go just a tweens further. Hold here. This pose is a prayer. We're praying. Inhale and release out of that. Good job. Okay, now I'm going back to this cross. Now I'm going to lace one finger over the weird feeling way. Oh, it's like holding hands with somebody you've never met. Well, this is how you get to know them. Now, there we go. Now, you know what I like to say, the sky's the limit. This guy right here is the limit. Stretch up. Now close your eyes and you're a conduit between heaven and earth. Your hands reach up into heaven, your butt reaches down into the earth, and you're a conduit. This means that you conduit. You conduit. If you think you're going to come on Sunday and not get bad puns, as Judas Priest says, you got another thing coming. Now turn to the left as far as you can. Now right hand, left knee, left arm behind you. Corkscrew into the floor, look behind you, see who's chasing you. Just because you're not paranoid doesn't mean somebody's not following you. And now stay exactly right here, but lift your hands. Use an internal squeeze to turn. Good. Replace your hands. You can turn about 5 degrees further. This will add 6 to 8 yards to your drive without having to buy a new $700 driver. Inhale here. Exhale here, although that's never stopped me. Up you go, kitty cats. Exhale out. Good. All right, now we're going to do Vipassana meditation. You're going to please to close your eyes. We'll drop our chins down a third of the way and bring the attention of your breathing right to the tip of your nose and feel the breath draw in and feel the breath release out at the tip of your nose. Now, that's all you do. If anything else comes up, you disregard it. That important thought about your finances, that health concern, your kids in trouble, let it all go, just your breath. This is how we solve all of our problems, by rising above them. Notice if you feel edgy or bored or I wish I'd done something else. Just we go through all the feelings when we meditate, don't we? I could be eating. So we're taking all of our 5 senses and we're pulling them inward. People don't generally do this. Okay, we'll chant an Om together. Remember, it's not a competition, but we do try to extend the exhalation. It builds a profound physiological capacity within us. Big inhale. Feel that. We're right where we're supposed to be. The future dissolves, the past is gone. Good. Now, arms out, please. Palms up. And touch your elbows together because I can't, but a lot of peeps can. Widen your hands a little, and then careful like lean into your palms. Drop your chin, bow your neck, totes, relax your head, and lean in until you feel the edge between what you can't do and what you can do with your wrists. That's called the edge, and that's we're always optimally playing the edge in our life to some degree. There's who we are and there's who we're becoming. If we get stuck for too long in one place, the universe prods us with sometimes it's a feather, sometimes it's a pitchfork, but if we move ourselves, then it's deliberate. Now I'm gonna walk my dogs a little bit. I'm gonna go a little left and right just to get a little more juice in there, just a little more grease, you might say. Now, if you do this a lot, it's generally not quite so confronting. If you do it, every now and then, it's a little more challenging. It's like anything else. If you practice your musical instrument every day, it doesn't feel like you've never touched it before. We're learning to use our bodies. People learn to play everything else. They play golf, they play the violin, they play the piano, but they don't learn to play their own body, and that's a mess. Good, and we'll come out. Your hands are permanently bent. Sorry about that. So we're going to bend our wrists the other way. This is called palmar flexion. It's named after Arnold Palmar. Good, then we're going to sit country style for a sec. We'll go in turtle, out turtle, in turtle, out turtle. Speaking of instruments, I repositioned my instruments. Now I see my guitar shows up in the camera, but I kind of like the effect. I've got the piano and the guitar on this side and the drums on this side. Good. Now take your arms behind your back, bring your hands up to your heart, pack your palmar flex wrist into your armpits. This is called poultry in motion. Put your elbows inside your knees. And then if you squeeze your knees all the way together, you'll break your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, and your knees. Drop your chin so your neck's not taking a buffeting. If you don't like this one, it means this is a really good one for you. This also squeezes lymph glands in your armpits. So we might consider this a pit stop. You're a fast driving stock car racer, and sometimes you got to pull into the pits sometimes. Okay, then the feet come together. The hands come out of that crabby situation. And then we do roly-poly guacamoles at 0.5 speed. Now, when you watch YouTubes, you can change the speed of the replay. No, a lot of people don't know that. It's just, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So as I'm looking at all my musical YouTubes to learn, I can slow them down to 0.5 or 0.25 speed. We can do the same with our life. Life's going too fast. You just click on 0.5. Other way. Good. Now shake away cares and worries. Got some poop on your hands, shake it off. You remember when you had kids. Good. And then, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? My name is Wally. I'm a real estate salesperson. A little faster, sharing your whole narrative with them at a cocktail party. Cup your hands at your heart, drop your chin, close your eyes. Feel that you are indeed a calm and peaceful soul. You feel that buzzing in your hands? That's the feeling of abundance and prosperity. Good. Now, gentle on this one. Some people this comes really easily, some people not so much. Just squeeze your knees in together. For some of us, based on the shape of our hips, the knees don't come all the way in very easily. Other people, very easy. Pull your knees in a little bit, just wrap around your knees with your elbows. Wrap tighter if you can. I call it re-wrapping. I call it re-gifting. Then float your head up, drop your chin, and sit in a tight little bun for a moment. Now, I could actually wrap and squeeze myself much tighter than this, but on Sundays, I give myself a day off from doing everything as freakishly hard as I possibly can. I've got a little bit of mania in me. When I get into something, I really get into it. So God tells me to back off sometimes. Simple human movements done simply and peacefully. Good. Now, when you want something really bad, you pray with your hands and your feet. This is where the elite meet to pray with their hands and feet. Now we're going to clap that we're in class with other people. Good. Now push your hands and feet together really strong. Close your eyes. Pretend you like this pose. Good. Then we'll extend our legs out. It feels good to unbend our legs, don't it? I just said, don't it? Oh, I used to love donuts. Flour. I'm going to dig my fingers into the front of my hips. I'm going to sit up a little taller. I'm going to unwrinkle the underside of my knees. I'm going to stretch my toes open like a platypus. Good. Then we'll extend our arms up into Dandasana. Danda means staff. Staff, the staff of your spine. Moses carried a staff. Moses had a staff. Dogs have staff. Cats have servants. Good. Now, hands open, paws behind you, feet in. You know where we're going? Houston, we have liftoff. Rocket ships to the moon, rocket hips to the moon. It would be easier not to do this, just lay in bed all day and have somebody spoon feed us and tickle our throats so that we'd remember to swallow. But we don't want that. And come on down, kitty cats. Good job. All right. Now I'm standing behind me for a blanket. The reason for that is in a moment we're going to be on our back. And a lot of times when you're on your back, you just want a little neck pillow, especially if you don't practice all that frequently. If you're really flexible, you may feel it to be an imposition. Anyways, let's get on our back and just take our legs up to the ceiling. Now, if you practice legs up a lot, this is not a problem. It's barely an inconvenience. If you don't practice all that frequently, laying on your back with your legs up feels somewhat similar to hell. So your knees will be bent, they'll start to shake, it'll become anguish. And if it gets to be too much, you just put your feet down and give yourself a break. We're not here to hurt ourselves. We're here to stretch and move ourselves. Now, you might ask, what should I be doing with my feet? How about nothing? How about just let them be feet? This is where the elite meet, to just let their feet be feet. It's pretty sweet. Now, this reverses circulation. This is really good for circulation issues. Diabetics would be well served to reverse circulation on occasion. Good, kids. Now bend your knees and lift up your head so I can see you. High. Now, if you're not that flexible, just grab your knees. If you're sufficiently flexible, grab your big toes. And then we're going to do happy baby or unhappy baby, depending on your enjoyment of this pose. So, man, I remember being really tight and I would just kind of grab my thighs. My feet were not, I'd have to struggle and lift my head to grab my toes. But this is when that blanket underneath your neck really helps. Now, this is a yin pose, meaning we give time. We apply several drops of the tincture of time to this pose. Our booty cheeks relax, shoulders away from our ears. We drop our chin, we close our eyes, and we let our underparts stretch open and relax. This cures a lot of technical issues in the hips. One of the most important technical issues it addresses is being a tight ass. So you just let this sink into your body. And by the way, you can always adjust and modify by how long you do something. Now, if you can't, it's okay. If you can, we just do turtle shells from left knee to right knee. Thus we get some rhythm, or as Steve Martin used to say, some rhythm. You think to yourself, I should do this more often. I should do this at church or at the job or on the first tee when I'm getting ready to tee off. Good, then pause in the middle, lift up your head, knees on the floor. Rest your head down, take your leggings back up. There's a certain element of strength being built, obviously, to lay on your back and stick your legs up. Now open your feet really wide, like you were holding a medicine ball that weighed 25 pounds on your feet. Now, you don't want that medicine ball to drop down and hit your sensitive underparts, do you? No, you don't. So you keep your feet open, you keep your legs reasonably engaged. You don't want medicine balls falling into your middle parts, do you? Good, guys. Now, do you remember this one? Left ankle over your right knee. Let's roll up. We have to talk. Roll up. I'll explain. Greg, you're losing me. Explain what you're doing. Be a teacher. All right, this is the one. Okay, note the blanket behind my head. Left ankle over my right knee. If you're a really stiffy person, you can barely grab anything. After a while, you can reach up a little higher. Left hand through the triangle, grab your right knee, and rest yourself down. Good, then sleepy time is you just hold on. If you're really bendy, your left shin comes to your throat without your butt lifting. Whatever. Shoulders relax. Sunday peaceful practice. When we do yin yoga, it sinks in. It sinks in. S-Y-N-C. It sinks into our body. We're not trying to impress other people with how flexible we are in class. That's Monday class. Good, now just for fun, we're gonna try this. We're gonna lift our head, neck, and shoulders. We'll take our arms out and we're gonna reach up and grab our calf. Our calf says, moo, and then rest your head down. If you can't do it, it's okay. Give yourself 2 weeks. Now your butt lifted to accommodate. So as it says in the 11th commandment, drop thy booty. Good, bend your knee, release the whole situation. Wiggle your legs out. Ha 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 ha. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, bring your knees in. If you can just grab underneath your left thigh, you take your right hand through and you just grab your left thigh. That's totes cool. If you can reach up higher and grab some knee, then do that. But you gotta drop your head back down, gotta drop your chin, swallow once. We are calm, peaceful souls. La 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 la. Just doing time on the planet. Good, now this is optional where you let go, you just straighten out your left leg. You might reach up and grab your calf or your foot if you're way more flexible than me. There are a lot of people more flexibler than me, and I used to hate them, but now I appreciate them. How can anybody be better than me? How come everybody is better than me at everything? That's called painful self-focus. Run your own race. Good, kids. Now take your legs up. Ah, good. Now just spread your legs as wide as you can. And we'll circle our ankles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stir peanut butter with your feet. Yum. Then other people could lick peanut butter off of your feet. Yeah. Almond butter for me. Good, and after a while, your legs say, we really shouldn't be doing this. This is kind of torturous. So you could actually stop doing it if you wanted, and then you'd learn how to moderate and not just do what I'm doing. Good, then bend thy knees, hands on your butt, and roll up together, kitty cats. Whoop! Nice. Nice. Ooh, it's getting hotter up here after this 53-degree June weather with freezing cold fog. Today feels hotter. Now I've got a personal question for you. Do you have a bolster? I probably have given you a bolster somewhere in the past. If you don't, you can use your spouse or your mate or your pet if they're big enough. Do not lean on your cats. Anyway, I've got my bolster out here. We're not necessarily going to do this, but just remember who your biggest bolster is. Me. Who loves you, baby? Who will be with you every Sunday at 11 o'clock to help you get flexible, happy, joyous, and free? Exactly. Now, whether it's a blanket or a bolster, a pillow, an ottoman, or whatever, you put it out in front. And then this is a nice little forward fold, isn't it? You just kind of slide out and you come back. Sometimes I make up poses in the midst of doing poses. Ah. Good. Now, you know what we haven't really done very much of yet? We haven't done a lot of twisting. So I want you to turn your body to the left. See how my body's going to the left? Now I'm pulling the blankets or the bolster into the outside of my right hip. You see that? Now, pat, good bolster with your right hand. Pat it. Quarter notes, eighth notes, sixteenths. That's all I do all day long is play on my drum kit. Now, slide your knees and ankles around behind you. Now, as you look back into your left, you look back and it's like, oh, my legs are back there now. How did they get there, you wonder? Then you put both of your hands. By the way, if none of this is making any sense, it's turned into a bad game of high school twister when you're drunk. That's okay. Push into the bolster, lean back. Those were the days. And then I'm going to turn my torso to the right, and I'm just going to come down and lay on my right ear. And you're going to say one of two things. Ah, or you might say, oh God. Either way, it's a religious experience. If you're doing yoga with your beloved or your mate, a lot of people do that. You might reach a hand out and smash them into the floor, because if you're suffering, they should suffer too. That's what I always say, which is why I don't have a significant otter. 1 minute, you guys, relax. Gravity's going to do a number on you. Yoga's so good for you. All the angels and God, they're all cheering. They're going, look, my beloved's doing yoga after so happy when they connect. Now, if you're one of my stiffy bears, stay where you're at. If you're one of my bendy bears, come up a little. Some of you are my bendy bears. You know who you are. I'm going to take my bolster over to like 1 o'clock. Going to turn more. I'm going to come down my left ear now. I'm going to come down my left ear. Now, if you're a stiffy bear, you don't do that. If you're a bendy bear, it's like not a problem. Some people are yogi bear. Some people are boo-boo bear. Fall asleep. Peace is a practice. Peace is a practice. If you don't practice something, you don't get altogether that good at it. If you practice something a lot, you become competent, expert, adept, masterful. Ultimately, we become virtuoso at peace, but not at the start. It takes 3-4 lifetimes. A lot of people want peace, but they don't practice it. Do you see the conundrum? I want to be good at the violin. I just don't want to play it. Stay in the pose, biggest inhale you can in this crunchy position. Exhale, melt open like a grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, oh. Okay, pull your hands in. Get out of this predicament, you pickles. Oh, God. Oh, I'm having a religious experience in that one. Let's get out of that one. Sometimes a lot of the joy of a pose is getting out of it. Sometimes you like getting into things. Sometimes you enjoy getting out of things. That's why some people have been married 4 or 5 times. There's the getting in part, and then there's the escaping part. Good. Now that was that side. We'll do the other side next week. I'm just messing with you. Good. Now turn your knees. See how my knees are going over to the right? See, I'm the guy, the southwest guy that points your plane over here. Now our knees are over to the right. Make sure your knees have taxied over to the right. Pull the bolster into the outside of your left bun. Put your left hand on the bolster for stability. Now my knees fold around me. And because I'm bendier than the average 66-year-old senior golfer, I cross my ankles. I'm using a lot of golf references today because I see my good buddy Wes. I miss him terribly. Hi Wes, how you doing, bro? Is that Barb? Hi Barb. Yay. So we have a stiff person and a really flexible person down in Arizona. Just kidding, Wes, giving you a little crap. Good. Now leaning back. This is called mermaid pose, chicken of the sea can. Good. Now I'm going to take my bolster over to, I don't know, 11 o'clock, daylight savings time. They don't do that in Arizona because they're smart. And now I'ma come down my left ear. I'ma come down my left ear. Oh, and as you come down, you calm down. Spread your hands open wide. If you're practicing this on YouTube, make sure you like my channel and subscribe. I've got a saying, like it whether you like it or not, and subscribe whether you want to or not. And now a whole minute of nothing. I've got nothing for you. Now, if you're one of my stiffy bears, I love you. Just stay where you're at. Come up a little if you're a bendy bear. I'm gonna take my bolster to 10 o'clock, and then I'm a come down my right ear. To which I say, ooh, ooh. Now, when you do yin yoga or restorative yoga and you just spend a long time in a pose, God sends all of his angels like a tune-up crew, and they go all the way around your car. They change your tires, they lube, they lube your chassis, they put windshield wiper fluid in because you got bugs all over your windshield. They change your tires. They give you some Gatorade. But if you never pull into the pits, the angels can't help you, and you just keep running until your axle breaks. Perfect analogy. Good, big, deep inhale while you're in the pose. Outhale, release. Good, kitty cats. Exhale all the air out. Bring your hands in and let's get out of this predicament. Oh, I feel like $100. I'm on sale today. You can have me for just $100. All right. Now, ah, we're back to square one, aren't we? Now, here's the deal. My legs are crossed. I got this thing right here. Now, if you don't practice that often, if you just brought your elbows here and put your paws at your forehead, maybe that's too much of a stretch. Greg, you're killing me. You're killing me. So maybe your elbows go on two blocks and you park your hands. Hands together in yoga is called Anjali Mudra. And you want your elbows high enough that you can relax in this. Now, if you're a bendy person, your elbows are hella way down here like this. And then we're going to massage our floor heads. And this is going to scrape our third eye open. Because you might say something like, well, Greg, I've been meditating for 40, 50 years. My third eye is still closed. So we're just going to scrape it open. To rub your third eye. It's called third eye LASIK. Other way. We're going to open a third eye LASIK clinic. Good. Now just rest here in perfect stillness. You can put your hands in your head. Oh, yes. We might pray for knowledge and power of all things. Just knowledge and power. I want a new car. If you have knowledge and power, you can have whatever earthly trinkets you like. They're just trinkets. Exhale all the air out, my beauties. Pleased to come up. All right, and then to become symmetrical, even though we're asymmetrical creatures. Don't be that concerned about being symmetrical. We're asymmetrical. Cut a body open when they're for an autopsy, and you'll see stuff's on one side and the other. Then arrange your block to just the right size for use. Use and rams. Lean forward, hands on your forehead. If you need big blocks, relax. Now remember, if you don't like what I'm serving, you make something up. You actually can make up your own pose. Now here's an interesting instruction. Stop thinking. If you notice that you're thinking, stop it. It's not helping. Now think or say this affirmation with me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything works together for good for those who love good. Okay, kids, and then we'll come up together. Good job. This is my unfamiliar cross, so I'm just going back to this. We're almost ready for like a really good 8 or 9 minute finishing Shavasana. But I'm wondering if you would chant Om with me one more time, really long and not straining, but learning to use. We only use about 3% of our lungs, and if we ever used all of them, the world would be terrified at our productivity and magnificence. We probably could start our own religion. I would join yours. Okay, now hand on your heart and one on your belly. We're going to do WAP and big inhale. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance with our hand on our belly. Just kidding. All right. Fill up the whole thing. Feel that. You and God are one, just your God being human for a couple minutes. Relax your shoulders, drop the rock. Now we pray a lot. For the next few moments, receive the answers to all your prayers. We do a lot of asking, you got to do some receiving. All businesses have a receivable and the other department, I forgot what it's called. Beautiful. You guys and gals, you beautiful guys and gals, you have earned a ticket to paradise, 2 tickets to paradise if you have the Eddie money. Now I'm gonna, for this one, you may not have a sliding giant Pee Wee Herman reclining chair nearby, but if you don't, you could use an ottoman. You could put your legs over the chest of your beloved. They might like it. You never know what might come from that. Now for this one, you just want your legs elevated but not hanging in space. So I'm going to put my calves up here and my calves saying moo. And then I'm going to lift a little bit of a bolster. I'm going to put it under my buns. I like this pelvic lift. There's one thing I like. It's a lifty pelvis. And then we relax for 8 minutes. Greg puts duct tape over his mouth. And you just build it to suit. You close your eyes. And then we're going to get on a raft like Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer and Becky. And we just float downstream together. No oars, no paddling. We've been paddled enough. I'll see you in 8 minutes. No texting, no checking your email, none of that. A great saint, St. Paul, said, I die daily. He did Shavasana daily. Good. Now start to find your breathing again. Move back into your body. Good. Reoccupy your space-time vehicle. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circulate extra super feel good through yourself. Invite God, love, source, spirit in. Good. When you're ready, you can bring your knees in and curl onto your easiest side. That was a long Shavasana, a lot of bonus relaxing minutes. As you roll onto your side, just curl up all around yourself. Good. Then we will sit with our eyes closed. We'll sit up together because then you keep the relaxed vibe on the inside. Good. Then we'll bring our hands into our hearts. Drop our chin, close our eyes. And all together, the mighty Sunday spiritual yogis, we all say Namasunday together. Namasunday. Good. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, please leave a like, subscribe, share with friends because I want 1 million subscribers and I only have about 1 million more. So I'm going to turn the recording off so we can